Prasad-Bissessar come June 26. Tonight we ask you, point up here, are you fed up of rising crime? Point up here, are you fed up of rising food prices? Point up here, do you want Kamla Prasad-Bissessar as your Prime Minister and leader again? Tonight we are proud to be joined by some stalwarts of this constituency. We are joined by the veteran himself, Mr. Ganga Bhagwandi and his beautiful wife, men who have stood with the people of Point-a-Pierre and the UNC family. We will be joined by the man himself, Shanif Mohammed, and many more veterans. But tonight, I want to bring another soldier to the platform. A soldier that has been a veteran in this party from its inception. A man who has stood election after election, year after year, and now some small person want to fight him in a race. Let us welcome the man who will be your next elections officer come June 26. Let us welcome Don Sylvester.
Thank you, my brother. Good night. Honorable political leader Kamla Prasad-Bissessar, Honorable Dr. David Lee, a man who has held the fort strongly in this constituency, all other protocols observed. I want to make it abundantly clear that this is not simply an internal election. This is the first step to governance by the United National Congress. We have three important steps to take. Step one, this internal election, we must ensure that the Honorable Kamla Prasad-Bissessar and her star team sweep the polls. We must ensure that. Because once we sweep the poll and we have our political leader at the helm as we expect, then we are well prepared to go to step two. Step two is local government elections. The responsibility is yours, especially here in Tabakit, to mobilize, to organize, to ensure that all the different areas in the constituency are well prepared, so that when a local election is called, our people come out in droves. People come out in droves and vote in the councillors for the United National Congress. It's a serious matter. Because if we don't do that, then Rowley and his band of thieves will celebrate. And we don't know what will be next. People are suffering in all the local government areas. If you ask Brother Miru, down in his area, is pressure. Ask any councillor here. They will tell you PNM only takes care of PNM people in the constituencies. Miru said they ain't even doing that. So that's to tell you. So we have forgotten. So we have to ensure that we win the next local government election. So a lot of mobilization has to take place in this constituency. And Dr. Lee is a master of the art. And I know once he leads this team, as I expect him to, you all will become successful in a local government election. The third phase is preparing for national elections. So we have won the internal, we have won the local in Trinidad. That's what will happen. And then we have to prepare for the big fight. That fight will be a devil fight. Because Rowley being a big devil will not be easy. Trust me. So we have to be prepared. Really prepared. We have to work the ground very, very hard indeed. And once we do our work, Kamla Prasad-Bissessar will become the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. So we give all praises to all our hard-working councillors. They work very hard. All the councillors must be praised. They work very hard. And when the time comes for local and the councillors are selected, or the prospective councillors are selected, let's forget the bacchanal. Let's follow the party. Let's follow our leader. She knows best. Let's follow our MP. A man very quiet, very easygoing, but he hits ball like Vivian Richards. That's Dr. David Lee. It's not easy. So brothers and sisters, steel yourselves. Prepare yourselves. Look ahead. We have a few battles to win. We'll win them. At the end of those battles, we can jump and praise and thank the Lord that Kamla Prasad-Bissessar, my leader, our leader, is again the leader of the UNC and again will be elected the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. I thank you.
Internal elections is heating up with star team
UNC,
John,
Lee,
Moonilal,
Tanku,
Amin,
Sobers, Mohit,
Hussein,
Sylvester,
Gosai,
Ratuam,
Morris,
Butram,
Badal,
Zaku,
Roberts.
Obika.
17 candidates.
One leader.
Under my leadership, the UNC will never, ever abandon you.
Live stream on all platforms June 26. The United National Congress. One team.
One leader.
They are fed up of crime. They are fed up of lies. They are fed up of neglect. And they want Kamla Prasad-Bissessar back, not as political leader, but as Prime Minister. And in the crowd tonight, we have some more veterans. We have Meru. You must know Meru. Make some noise for Meru on the radio every morning. We are joined by Councillor Rajbal. Make some noise for Councillor Rajbal. And our very own Public Relations Officer, Dr. Kirk Megu. Brothers and sisters, the next speaker is known as a child of the UNC. He has fought for this party from the youth level, from the UE level, and now he's fighting for this great party in the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. I want you to welcome the Member of Parliament for Couva North and your next party organizer. Welcome, Brother Ravi Ratiram.
It's about creating a job so people can sustain themselves and their families.
My UNC brothers and sisters, are we ready to return Mrs. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar as our Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago? Oh my gosh, look at people! Pointe-à-Pied, Tabakit. A pleasant good night, brothers and sisters. Member of Parliament for Pointe-à-Pied and Chief Whip in the Parliament, our Deputy Political Leader, Dr. David Lee. Make some noise for your MP. My beautiful sister, colleague, Member of Parliament for Tabakit, effervescent, hard-working MP, Anita Hines. And when this gentleman roar, the PNM cower and hide beneath them desk in Parliament. Let us welcome the Member of Parliament for Orapuch East, Dr. Roodal Moonilal. I want to acknowledge in the audience our deputy political leader. This person is like an energizer bunny. She never stops working. Let us welcome Sister Jerlene John. And all other colleagues who have spoken tonight, councillors, aldermen, brothers and sisters. I make reference also to our election mobilization machinery and our election day machinery here in the UNC, because it is you all, our area managers, our PD leaders, our street captain, mock station agent, polling agent, drivers. Give yourselves a round of applause tonight, brothers and sisters. Tonight, as I look on and I see you in your numbers, I say the UNC is in a good position, and we are all mobilized, united as ever, stronger than ever, ready to return good governance to Trinidad and Tobago, and ready to return our political leader, Mrs. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar, as our Prime Minister. You know, brothers and sisters, on my way to this meeting tonight, instead of coming down the Bonaventure main road, the main road in Gasparillo, because there was significant traffic on that main road, due to the caving away of that road along the Bonaventure, around the Gasparillo. An MP for Tabaquite made reference. She did a press release recently highlighting by that Gasparillo River there how half of the road has caved away and has sunken. So I decided to pass through Lightbourne, through Forest Park, come round this side here and come into Macaulay. And oh my gosh, brothers and sisters, when we look at the roads that we are experiencing in this country, the roads that we have to traverse, like the Hermitage Road and the Southern Main Road, the Cedar Hill Road here in the constituency of Pointe-à-Pierre, brothers and sisters, this country is experiencing some of the worst roads that we have seen under this uncaring and incompetent PNM administration, with the Ministry of Works and Transport. We wonder if we have a minister in that ministry, because Rohan Sinanan seems to be asleep. Thank you, Meru. He seems to be sleeping in office, brothers and sisters. Tonight I want to share with you some very important information, because when the councillors cannot get money and resources and material to assist their burgesses, they go to the Ministry of Works for help and for assistance, because all the main roads in this country fall under the purview of the Ministry of Works and Transport. We know local government seeing pressure under this PNM, and what we see happening under this Ministry of Works and Transport, brothers and sisters, is gross incompetence, wastage, and mismanagement. I want to share with you tonight, brothers and sisters, the amount of money that has been spent by this government. Even though they complain to us that they don't have money, things hard, tighten your belt, we can't see about that bad road because we don't have money. Brothers and sisters, in 2015, they spent, and this is the actual spending under the Ministry of Works and Transport, over $3 billion. In 2016, they spent over $2.5 billion. In 2017, they spent over $2.57 billion. In 2018, brothers and sisters, they spent at the Ministry of Works and Transport over $2.6 billion. In 2019, they spent in this country with the worst roads that we are experiencing over $2.89 billion. And in 2020, brothers and sisters, they spent over $3.19 billion. When we add the estimate, the revised estimate for 2021, they spent over $3 billion for that year. And for this year, they have a fiscal allocation of $2.9 billion, which we are closely reaching the end of the financial year. Brothers and sisters, since this PNM government came into office, under the Ministry of Works and Transport alone, they have spent over $22.8 billion, and this is the kind of road that our citizens have to endure. This is the kind of road that our taxi drivers and our motorists have to traverse on a daily basis. Is that fear, my brothers and sisters? No. I can't hear you. Is that fear, my brothers and sisters? And this is why I say tonight, brothers and sisters, and I call upon Minister Rohan Sinanan to wake up from that slumber and get to work. Stop utilizing these funds to benefit your friends, your financiers, and your families. And utilize these funds so that every citizen of Trinidad and Tobago can be well represented by our government, brothers and sisters. Over $22.8 billion, and we have the worst roads. This is why I say to Rohan, if you cannot do the job, tender your resignation like what Amor is going to do soon and get out of office, because you are a complete failure and waste of time. Rohan Sinanan must go. Brothers and sisters, I want to utilize this opportunity also to touch on what has been happening in the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries. Similarly, from 2015 to 2022, brothers and sisters, at the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, what we have seen again under the 4 ministers, it has been 4 ministers, they have 3 at present, and 1 fella throwing the towel because of some kind of land grabbing issue that apparently is getting the attention of the TTPS. But Sister Jayanti Lakshmidyal will tell you a little more about that, because they could try however hard they want. They cannot silence Jayanti. They cannot silence our United National Congress. They cannot silence this opposition led by the best leader of this country, Mrs. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. Brothers and sisters, since they came into office under the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, they have already spent over $6 billion in office. $6 billion, brothers and sisters, and our farmers continue to complain. With 1 shower, they're getting flooded out. Some persons have been flooded out from since that Diwali flood a few years ago, when we had a major flood in this country. Up to now, has not received 1 cent compensation for their losses. Our fisher folk last year in the budget, when we were going through the previous financial term, it was revealed that not 1 cent was given out to the fisher folk for their fuel rebate. For those of you all who have been looking at the Standing Finance Committee, I question the minister under the incentive program, which is to provide fuel rebate for our fisher folk. Not one of our fishermen, and they continue to face the risk out at sea of piracy and larceny and arsonery of their boats being burnt. They're being brutalized and murdered out at sea. And what it is this Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries doing for our fisher folks, brothers and sisters? Absolutely nothing. And if we look at every single ministry under this Rowley-led incompetent administration, we will see failures after failures, mishap after mishap. And Brother Rishi Balram Singh tell you left foot, right foot, well, it's misstep after misstep, and they're tumbling over and falling down like that fellow who going to open the fire station in Penal. Cat spraggle and fall on the face. That is what is happening to this PNM administration. They cat spraggling every step they make. And brothers and sisters, I say tonight, enough is enough. Are we fed up and frustrated of this PNM Rowley-led administration? And this is why Rowley and his bands of misfit and his incompetent regime have to go, brothers and sisters. I want to say to you tonight that since I became the party organizer of this UNC, since 2015 to now, I have been so happy to have the opportunity to work with the leadership of Mrs. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. Your member of parliament was our chairman. He's now a deputy political leader, Dr. David Lee, Sister Jerlene John, our Gensec, Peter Kanhai, and Chairman Tanku, and the colleagues at the national executive of this party. And I want to say to you that this UNC administration, this UNC opposition you have, brothers and sisters, we have been taught by our leader to stay in your section, stay in your lane, remain focused on the eye of the bird. And I want to tell you tonight, brothers and sisters, since we have been doing that, you can see for yourselves when it comes to matters like education. It was revealed in the parliament that over 46,000 children in this country was deprived of online education because they did not have electronic devices, because of the persistence, determination, hard work of your member of parliament for Tabakit, Sister Anita Haynes. Let us make some noise for her. When we look at what is happening in the energy sector, we see our energy sector totally collapsing. But not just mismanagement, but the vindictiveness and the uncaring manner in which they execute that. And Dr. David Lee will tell you that he stood with Angie Benjamin and those divers. May God bless their soul. May they rest in peace. But that is how wicked this PNM government is. But what I'm saying to you tonight, brothers and sisters, is your opposition members have been staying in their lane, have been guided by our political leader, and has been very focused. And so as your member of parliament continues to do what we all have to do inside the parliament, so too our UNC mobilization machinery has also been staying in their lane, stay in their section. It is not for public knowledge for us to run outside and say the work that Kern has been doing when he brought home that seat to the UNC, or Rishi, or our brother Buddy and others. Brothers and sisters in the San Fernando City Council, we have Marcus and the rest have been working the ground in a very disciplined and militant manner. And this is why I can comfortably say to you that as soon as that local government election is called, San Fernando City Corporation is going to be brought home to the United National Congress. We have my brother Neil Gosain, who is going up for the position of treasurer, along with Senator Anil Roberts and the team up in St. Joseph with Amit Suknanan. They have been on the ground, brothers and sisters, boots on the ground, disciplined, focused on the eye of the bird, doing what is required. So when some persons want to talk foolishness, that this UNC government does not appear to be a government in waiting, I tell them, eat your side breast chicken, KFC fried chicken, or Royal Castle fried chicken, or whichever one of fried chicken you want to eat. Eat your fried chicken and relax yourself and come down from there, because this UNC government is very hardworking, out on the ground, doing what it is they have to do to return good governance to this country and to return our leader, Mrs. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar, as Prime Minister. Brothers and sisters, this opposition continue to work on a daily basis. On Sunday morning, we have our Sunday morning press briefing coming out from the office of the leader of the opposition. We have our Monday night virtual report. We have Tuesday, our senators, Wade Mark and others continue to fight in the Senate, brothers and sisters. On Wednesday, we have our Douglas report with Senator Anil Roberts, and on Thursday, we have Victor Roberts kicking it off as we go straight into the TT Speaks program. On Friday, brothers and sisters, all your members of parliament continues to battle in the parliament. And on Saturday, all of you, our soldiers, continue to hold your demonstration and represent the issues affecting your constituency as you continue to heed that call of our political leader when she has called you out to commence the people's revolution. So this party is on the ground, working every single day, hard as ever, So I say to you, my brothers and sisters, just as the day follows the night, the sun shall rise again. And with your commitment, hard work and dedication, when you come out in your numbers on the 26th of June and place your X next to that star symbol, you will return a working NATEX, and we will be ready to return Mrs. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar as our next Prime Minister. I am Ravi Ratiram, your candidate for party organizer, and I support Mrs. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar as leader. I thank you.
Internal elections is meeting now with starting
UNC,
John,
Lee,
Moonilal,
Tanku,
Amin,
Sobers, Mohit,
Hussein,
Sylvester,
Gosai,
Ratuam,
Morris,
Butram,
Badal,
Zaku,
Roberts.
Obika.
17 candidates.
One leader.
Under my leadership, the UNC will never, ever abandon you.
Live stream on all platforms June 26. The United National Congress. One team.
One leader.
Kamla Prasad-Bissessar has been the only political leader in this country. Fair chance in the political circle. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar has been the only political leader to ensure women have a place, a plan and purpose in the national development of this country. And tonight, you will see why. The next speaker has been a former senator in our 11th parliament. She has been our PR.
It's about creating the jobs so people can sustain themselves and their families.
Good evening, my UNC family. Good evening, Point Up here. I am very happy to be here today. And a very special good evening to my Tabakit family. Welcome to Point Up here as we support Mrs. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar for political leader. The UNC is alive and well. This gathering here tonight shows us that the United National Congress remains a vibrant, strong political organization that will defeat the PNM in any election that they call. So give a round of applause to yourself. I want to welcome the teams from San Fernando, East and West. You have also come out in your numbers here tonight to support Mrs. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. To my UNC activists, UNC members, the heart and soul of this great party, I want to sincerely thank you for the work that you have been doing. I want to say to you tonight that you have been recognized by the national executive, you have been recognized by the leadership of the party, and come June 26th, it is your time to shine, to show the star slate what you can do in mobilizing and bringing the numbers to the poll to support Mrs. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. You were able to come out tonight. We've been having inclement weather. We have alerts. We had flooding in Naparima, flooding in parts of Tabakit. We had a road collapse in the last 2 days via the rain and the storms that we were facing. And tonight you still found yourself here to support the party, support the future of Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to also specially recognize the councillors and the chairman of the Kuva Tabakit Talpara Corporation. I would like to recognize members of the Star Slate. Point Up here is graced tonight with the presence of all 3 DPLs as they are now, and they will be on the 26th because they remain uncontested. David Lee, Dr. Roodal Moonilal, and Senator Geraldine John. We have also our incoming research officer, my former senator colleague Saddam Hussein, and currently the member for Barataria Sound. We have our incoming treasurer, Neil Gosain, who came all the way from St. Joseph to show the support, to say thank you to the activists on this part of the country. We have Don Sylvester, who came from Diego Martin, again to say thank you to the members in the constituency, to say thank you for your support come June 26th. We have our party organizer, Ravi Ratiram, who just spoke, and who spoke to you about what is going on in the parliament, what is going on outside of the parliament, and what we need to do come June 26th. Ladies and gentlemen, we are preparing for an internal election. That means that we have to show this country exactly what the United National Congress is made of. When we talk about our membership, we talk about 300,000 strong. We talk about the people who came out to vote for us in the general election, the people that will come out in the local government election. But we need to see your strength on June 26th. The People's National Movement is an institution. They are never good at running the country. They could never do good by the people of Trinidad and Tobago. But you know what they're good at? They're good at mamagain and mobilizing. They're good at bringing people out. They're bringing people out from homes, from anywhere, from the hospital if they have to vote for them. We in the UNC need to remain vibrant. We need to remain strong. And we need to have the PNM quaking in every constituency across this country. When I listened to the councillors from San Fernando West, I understood exactly why the Member of Parliament for San Fernando West is up and down the country. There was a time we thought he never knew where San Fernando was. There was a time where we thought that the member for San Fernando West would get lost on his way to San Fernando. And now he is up and down cutting grass across the country for photo ops. For photo ops. Because the members from San Fernando West will tell you that every promise he has made, he has broken. Every promise he has made, he has broken. And that in and of itself should tell you what we need to do. We need to ensure that the development we saw between 2010 to 2015, we as a nation can see again. Nadia spoke about the opportunities that we had in this country. Trinidad and Tobago was a nation on the rise. We were thriving. We had laptops for children. We were opening new schools. We were opening new hospitals. Dr. Roodal Moonilal was able to give out 100 houses a day. A day. And where are we now? Where are we now? You went from laptops to children not even knowing how they will get to school. How they will get. Right now, I am in a battle with the Minister of Education to secure school transportation. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. We have gone from innovating the education sector. We have gone so far backwards that parents are now contemplating if their children have to walk part of the way to school. Imagine that. And if you think about what we are doing on June 26th, it is not just about the UNC. It is not just for us to say we are comfortable, we surely leader will win. We are saying to the country that we are so totally disgusted with the state of this nation that we as a United National Congress are ready to take government. Don Sylvester spoke about the work on the ground. Mrs. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar, her leadership brand is one of serving people. Boots on the ground, outside, out on the field, ensuring that you serve the people that you represent. And if you think about that policy, if you think about what that means, representation at all levels, that is how we can tell you exactly what is going on in our constituencies. That is how we can lead the people's revolution And we are out in our numbers ensuring that we are fighting for proper roads, proper drainage, proper school system. We are fighting for the rights of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. On Monday in Parliament, we witnessed the mettle of Mrs. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. True leadership. We have an Attorney General that is lying to the nation. Let that sink in. You have a person in high office. In this country, you only need 2 people to form a government. You need a Prime Minister and an Attorney General. And the Attorney General is at this time lying to the nation. So you know what Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar said? She said, get up, walk out on him, come out from here, because we will not listen to liars inside this parliament. And that shows us the strength of leadership. It shows us that we can trust Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar to lead our team to victory, to lead our team to defeating the PNM at all the polls. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare for June 26th, our choice is simple. It is an easy decision to make. Mrs. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar has a demonstrated track record. If you look at the United National Congress now, it feels like a party for the future of this country. When you see the members of your team, you see them inside your communities. We have coordinators in every seat in this country. The UNC is not afraid to go anywhere in this country, and we have Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar to thank for that. And so, as you are here in your numbers tonight, I expect that you will be in your thousands on the 26th to give the star team led by the star Mrs. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar a resounding victory on June 26th. And I thank you very much.
The city support the star team and the Honorable Kamla Prasad-Bissessar to be the next leader of the United National Congress. One party, one leader!
They promised you jobs, they gave you none. They promised you prosperity, they gave you none. They promised to protect you and they lied. Brothers and sisters, tonight we are superstars here in Pointe-à-Pierre because together we are saying enough is enough. Together we are saying we want Kamla Prasad-Bissessar as your leader. Let us welcome the Member of Parliament for Faizabad, Dr. Lakram Bodo. Let us welcome superstar Macamillion, who is in the crowd with us tonight. Brothers and sisters, the next speaker, and as we speak here tonight, we are just joined by the Member of Parliament for Carney East, Dr. Richard Sicharan. So we are all here in Pointe-à-Pierre tonight to say Kamla must return on June 26. Your next speaker needs no introduction. He's a firebrand. He was this party's first youth officer. He battles hard in and outside of the parliament. Let us welcome the Master Blaster, as David Lee calls him. Let us welcome Dr. Roodal Moonilal.
Thank you all very much for that roaring welcome. Thank you. The Honorable political leader, former Prime Minister, leader of the opposition, Member of Parliament for Siparia, attorney at law, the very distinguished Mrs. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar, who is on her way to this meeting at this time. Our hardworking servant of the people of Pointe-à-Pierre for several years, the very distinguished Dr. David Lee, my parliamentary colleagues of both houses of parliament, members of the Star Slate, executive officers and stalwarts from the Pointe-à-Pierre area, recognized earlier by the chairman, and our international listeners and viewers from Canada, the United States, the wider Caribbean, brothers and sisters assembled here in your hundreds this evening. It's a great pleasure to be here again in the constituency of Pointe-à-Pierre, where we have worked for several decades to build our party, and where that work is being continued by a very dynamic, dedicated, hard-working member of parliament in the person of Dr. David Lee. Give him a round of applause. Brothers and sisters, tonight we meet as a UNC family and as a family in support of the Star team, 17 stars and 1 superstar leading. Tonight we thank you for your support. We thank you for coming out to listen to the issues facing this country. But tonight I want to begin my address by just telling you, in case some of you may have doubts, in case members of our party may not understand really the reason for what we are engaged in. And there's a seriousness about our events, our timetable, our schedule about June 26. You see, you must connect the internal elections of your party with national politics. What do people want? Whether it's Barrackport, Tonopona, Gasparillo, Claxton Bay, or Pooch, Point Fortin, Tobago, what? Our people want roads. They want utilities. They want jobs for their children. They want income. They want social support if they can't make it themselves. They are underprivileged. All people yearn for that and other utilities. The objective of politics is to serve the people, to deliver goods and services to the people. There's no other objective. That is what you are here for. You organize in political parties so you can deliver goods and services when you get into office. Today, they block off a road in Arapuchi called Mohis Road. We were in office, we spent the money, the resources to fix and open that road for the first time in 10 years or so, Mohis Road. They have failed to give the resources to the corporation, and over the years that road is in a state of dilapidation. Today they had to close it because the corporation will not get the resources to upgrade the road, to fix the road, so they have what is called a sinkhole and so on. That is very dangerous for the cars, for the people, motorists and so on, and the public. That is where we are. Now all the people want is their basic utilities. But to deliver that, you must get into office. And to get into office, as Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar said, this is not about internet posting and sending a video from America and squirrel and all these kind of business. This is about forming yourself in a political party, mobilizing the people, and going to elections. And when your party is strong, the government is strong. You can map the social and economic history of Trinidad and Tobago, and anytime the UNC is in power, you have jobs, you have roads, you have electricity, you have an increase in wages, increase in the minimum wages. You can look at the social and economic history of this country. The country prospers when the UNC is in office. And that is why we need our sister Kamla Prasad-Bissessar and this team, this star slate of members, distinguished brothers and sisters. So today I want to tell you, and I repeat, Ravi made a brilliant speech. Now when I hear that fella talk, even the lion tremble when I hear he talk earlier, you know. Brilliant speech tonight. Sister Anita Haynes, Don Sylvester and others. A hot tempo on this platform. I try not to disappoint myself. But tonight, I tell Rohan Sananan, as Ravi said, wake up from your sleep, your slumber. He's in a karmic sleep. And he need to be awakened to do the job. So tell Kumkaran Sananan, it's time to wake up, and get to the job. And if he can't do it, Rohan Sananan, if you cannot deliver, bounce your starter and get out of town. Get out. So on June 26, we will beat them to a frazzle. and then we will beat the frazzle when we finish. I saw, listen, people send me all kind of crazy thing on this internet business, you know. I see a man make a video. I think he now peak. I think he now peak because he have a squirrel with him. I think that's the chief whip candidate, you know. But no, man, this is a serious business here. And you can't send a squirrel to fight lion. Lion will use that Jolene as dental floss. So, that's cruelty to animals. And we want to be serious in this election. There are serious issues. And I want to raise two very serious issues with you. The political leader and brother Saddam Hussein have been speaking, and they will continue to speak about the Attorney General. I won't want to deal with that now. Only to say to the Attorney General is, I want to tell you something. You see, in private affairs, when you get catched, just remain quiet. In public business, there's no silence. There's a duty for public accountability and responsibility and transparency. And you cannot hide. Whether you're in Miami, New York, or Bahamas, you cannot hide. You have to return to the people and account. So the Attorney General has nowhere to hide. This government is on the ropes. We have them on the ropes on the OS matter. We have them on the ropes on the Attorney General. We have the fella, the come and go in fella, on the ropes. They are on the ropes. They are about to fall. But they don't recognize that because they thief the rope too. So they cannot see it. So brothers and sisters, tonight, two issues I'll talk about very briefly for you tonight. The first one has to do with UDCOT. I have made it clear to the national community that UDCOT has returned to the cold-hard days of corruption. It has returned to those dark old days of bubble, wholesale bubble. And I told you before, I don't want to repeat, I told you before that there was a scandal when they went out to tender for the central block in Port of Spain. That central block fell down already because we bust the mark that Shanghai had pulled out of the contract. Was the UNC? Now today we have the information, and I come with document now from UDCOT, official UDCOT documents. And brothers and sisters, in this matter, 4 contractors took up the packages. They buy packages when you go into tender and so on. 4 contractors did that. The deadline was May 20th, 2022. Good. Look at this here. UDCOT closed. That is a formal notification on email that the tendering closed for that project. The time is written on the top right. Friday, May 20th, 2022 at 4:32 p.m. Okay, they're gone 2 minutes overboard now. 2 minutes overboard. But 4:30 was the deadline, 4:32. Close. They announced to everybody, the companies, UDCOT staff, everybody they announced. There are 2 bidders that put in the bid. York Construction for 130 million and Universal and Steel Structures, for in excess of 400 million. Now the very fact that you have that wide disparity speaks already to something not right. It means that they deliberately put out that RFP with a lack of specific information. They deliberately do that to create that. That is not normal to have 130 and 400. Anyway, they announced to the bidders 4:39 on Friday. Look what happened now. They make a program, how it works, and Jillian John did this for years. When the bidders are announced, everybody know, they know the price. They then invite the bidders to a presentation to say, look, the bidders is York and Steel Structures. You all please come to us now and give us a presentation. You know the next man, figure, and number. Tell us why we should choose you. Although you might be higher, because it might be some issue of technical capacities. It might be methodology. It might be somebody could work in the rain and somebody can't. It might be health and safety. So they brought the two together and said, listen, give us a presentation. You all know each other. You all know the price. On Monday the 23rd, they made their presentations, brothers and sisters. It was instructive that the second bidder, which is Steel Structures, made a presentation during the time 10:30 to 11:15. So 10:30 to 11:15, the second, and in that case the final bidder, made his presentation. He knew what the first man was saying, and the first man knew what he was bidding to her. Do you know they announce a next closing time. Close again. Now I think they should close down permanently. Close again. Monday, 23rd May 2022 at 11:16 a.m. That is 1 minute after the second bidder made his presentations. This is bubble, it is scandal, it is corruption, it is incompetence. And Noel Garcia and that band of misfit must be fired immediately. They must immediately terminate and cancel that. Brothers and sisters, the noise, the atmosphere, the clapping, the excitement suggests that the political leader has landed. She's on the ground. Let's welcome bidders and say, people, we have had this problem, and instead of presenting on Monday, take 2 more days or 3 more days, tailor your presentation so that you will know there was a third bidder. But that third bidder was the phantom bidder. It was hidden, and 1 minute after the second final presentation, they tell everybody, well, here what happened? We have a phantom bidder in the house now. Somebody came in with a bid, and the other contenders did not know. And you know the third phantom bidder they have announced as the winner. That is bubble. That deserves the anti-corruption investigation. That deserves police. And Noel Garcia, like the original Amorfella, Noel Garcia is hiding. He might be gone with Amor too, you know, for all we know. So that is what we face. The second matter I raised before, I will just update you on it because now we have documents, so we can update now. The Rural Development Company, bubble and scandal galore. Brothers and sisters, do you know in this Rural Development Company, an official of that company was giving out the engineer's estimate for a road. He giving it out like nuts. Everybody get the engineer estimate like nuts, he saying. So all the contractors come together, they put in all the papers. You know what is the scandal? A company by the name of Liqua Construction Services Limited. This company was formed in February 2021. That's just a year and a few months now. They come in and bid. For this road in Monrepo, Royal Road, where OWTU is there. This company don't have a wheelbarrow. They don't have a shovel. They have fork. And they come in and bid. They win the bid. Okay? We have all the figures here. And another time we call company and all the figures. We know as soon as they win the bid, they got it at 3.8 million. They hire the fellow who come first in the bidding itself, but who didn't get the contract. They hire he to do it for 2.8 million, and overnight they make $1 million. $1 million overnight for a company that has no wheelbarrow, that has no track record, that does nothing. That is the scandal we face. And in dealing with this country, those are the things we have to investigate, put on the front burner. That is why they cannot fix your road. That is why you cannot get water. That is why you cannot get jobs. Because they are ripping off the country. UDCOT, RDC, OAS, EMBDC, everybody. And do not be misled by focusing on all kind of irrelevant nonsense and public relations stunts. I see Weekend, the former Attorney General, he jump in a bucket, climbing up a building like Spider-Man. He cutting down bush. I think it's Senator Lachmi said, well, he's a real bush lawyer. I want to tell Faris Alwari, boy, be careful now, man. You go in that bush there, next thing, tattoo jab sting you. You get fever or something. You don't go interfere in bush and thing, that jab and bee could sting you. That is the gallery. They want to take your attention away. Camille Robinson Regis in closing. I really promise not to say nothing about this business which she name and thing, you know, but she comes there making a speech, brothers and sisters, and want to say in an insulting way about people name and thing. Listen, we must be proud of every single name, regardless of ancestry, regardless of origin. I'm proud of Roodal, I'm proud of Moonilal, and I'm proud of Doctor. So, be proud of everything. So Camille, do not distract us. Because I am sure Camille might have a nice name too, you know. In fact, the people in Aruka, you won't believe her, but the people in Aruka, Jolene, tell me she has a beautiful Indian name with good meaning. I think that's called she Balmati. Yeah. So, I want to tell Balmati, leave the blasted political leader of the UNC alone and shut your mouth. Leave the political leader alone. Leave people name alone. You have a beautiful name. I think it means one with a clean head or something like that in Hindi. I don't know the language too well, but I think it means that. So brothers and sisters, I want to wind up now. I want to invite all of you on June 26th. I want to invite you on June 26th to come out in your numbers. We have a great slate of candidates. Tonight, I just want to indicate to you that Don Sylvester has been a stalwart of this party. Members of this party must come out in their numbers and vote for Don Sylvester. At our darkest hour, he was there. At our brightest hour, he served. A stalwart. I don't know who you're running against. I don't care who you're running against. But we must support him. Our brother Ravi Ratiram, you heard him tonight. You heard his passion. You heard his energy. So, yeah, we want to support Ravi. He has been a hard-working member of this party and well-deserved the office that he's running for. Well-deserved that. He's a tireless worker. That fella works in the day, the night, the sun, the rain. Over the years, I will tell you personally, there were events by the party, and sometimes the leader would call me and she would say, Rudy, give a little hand. We need a little hand. We need a little help with this and that. And I would say, no problem, political leader. Who do I talk to? Who do I communicate? She says, call Ravi. When I call him, he is always willing. I served recently. We had a little committee planning some activities and so on. And he was doing the job of the secretary. But he is not just secretary, you know, he's a serious politician, with ideas, with vision, with plans. He no taker like that Armour fella. And he did that job. He served, and anytime you call him day or night, he responds. He put the meeting together, call the people. So don't make joke and, you know, cast away any brain you have and go out on election day and forget Ravi, you know. You have to come out. Again, I don't know who running against him. I really don't care. I want to tell you, you are voting for Ravi. Don't be distracted by anybody. Don't be distracted at all by anybody. People feel that this business, you put up online thing all day, you posting, and you could win. The election is not online, you know. We are voting online, you know. Warm human being to come there and vote. So don't be distracted, and don't be distracted by Balmati with her nonsense that she's talking and creating all kind of national problems and so on. In fact, I'm reliably informed that I think she made name the daughter Sushila. So she possessed and obsessed with that Sushila name. Beautiful name. Beautiful name. Everybody should name their daughter that. Like you be talking to 20,000, but we talk to 20. Look at what we have here today. Look at this, man. This is an internal election. This is an internal election for your slate. And look at the turnout. Feel the energy. So this is the dynamic, the most dynamic party in opposition in the Caribbean. It is a matter of time. It is a matter of time before we reclaim the government of Trinidad and Tobago and serve the people, serve the people, serve the people. Brothers and sisters, thank you for your attention. May God bless you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Moonilal. Point of Pay and all joining us. On the stage here is your next Prime Minister and members of your next government. Tonight, we have MPs from all over joining us. I would like to acknowledge MP Indar Singh. I'd like to, the Member of Parliament for Cuba South. I'd like to acknowledge the dynamic and fearless Senator Jayanti Lakshmi Diyal. Make some noise for Jayanti Lakshmi Diyal. We have our friend from San Fernando, Joella. We are joined by the brilliant councillors of the Sandy Grande Regional Corporation. They have been with us night after night, meeting after meeting. As far as Tunapuna Piyako, we have councillors from there tonight because the message we are all sending is the party is united behind Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. The party is ready to return to government. Just one announcement, brothers and sisters. The driver of PBU 3989. Could you please move your car? You are blocking the gate. The driver PBU 3989. Brothers and sisters, I want you to make some noise. In 2015, he told you to vote wisely. He told you to vote bravely. And then you end up voting for David Lee. Brothers and sisters, welcome your Chief Whip, your Member of Parliament for Point of Pay, Dr. David Lee.
Everybody was kung fu
See my sister Jillian John smiling when she heard that song, Kung Fu Fighting. I play that just for her. Just for her. Brothers and sisters, good night. I want to welcome my political leader and the next Prime Minister of our country, the Honorable Kamla Prasad-Bissessar, and her husband who is joining us tonight, Dr. Greg Bissessar. I know all my other parliamentary colleagues have joined me here tonight. My colleague Anita Haynes was saying, she said, David, like you bring out all your MPs, they're afraid you're here tonight. Because normally, we don't see all of them here in Parliament, but they're here tonight. So I thank you, my parliamentary colleagues, and I want to thank Senator Jayanti for being here tonight, and temporary Senator Joella de Souza. Thank you for coming all the way from San Fernando. Tonight, the weather, we braved the weather, and we are here in Pointe-a-Pierre. Because Pointe-a-Pierre stood strong with Kamla in 2010 and 2015. Pointe-a-Pierre resoundingly supported the Honorable Kamla Prasad-Bissessar in 2017 and 2020. Tonight, as Member of Parliament for Pointe-a-Pierre, I want to say that come June the 26th, the people of Pointe-a-Pierre want only one leader and one party, and that is Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. Tonight, I tell the country, not just UNC membership, the remedy for a safe country is the Honorable Kamla Prasad-Bissessar, not the squirrel, not that squirrel. My colleague, Dr. Moonilal, talked about squirrel tonight. And I said, I looked at TikTok. I saw two TikToks. One, a competitor had a Venezuelan coming out the door with a suitcase. It looked like she didn't vote for him and she went back to Venezuela. And then today I see a squirrel. Supporting and he's trying to convince a squirrel to vote for him. When you're trying to convince a squirrel to vote for you, you know you already lose, so give it up one time. The solution for more jobs in our country and prosperity is under Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. The key for better schools, gate for all, and proper education is under Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. The only way to save our nation is under Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. Do you agree? Tonight it is about 18 stars, 17 stars and a superstar, Dr. Moonilal said, in the Honorable Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. With that strong backed-in lineup under Kamla Prasad-Bissessar, we have, last time I made an analogy with cricket. I want to say our captain is Honorable Kamla Prasad-Bissessar, who is leading our team, not only in Parliament, but she's leading our great party to victory on June the 26th and whenever election is called. In that star lining battle, I have an opener, my sister Jillian John. My sister Jillian John could compare to anyone in Baton as an opener for our team and our political party. So I thank you, Sister John, for serving our great party. I have another opener I would say is young Saddam Hussein. Young Saddam Hussein, who's a firebrand, not only in Parliament, but he's a firebrand in his constituent Samawar area. That a squirrel, he beat a squirrel the other day. He beat a squirrel in 2020. I call no name. And our team is made up of, I call them two fast bowlers. Tall. One is tall and beautiful in Khadija Amin as vice chairman. And the other one is he bowled bouncers tonight. It's a good thing he came from Bonaventure, because like that road upset him. Ravi Ratiram, our party organizer, who will beat them on June the 26th. He will beat them on June the 26th. And we have so many other stars on our team. But tonight we in Pointe-a-Pierre, together with our friends from Tabaquite, I want to welcome Tabaquite here tonight, and our San Fernando, East and West, I call ourselves the awesome foursome, based on the crowd that we have here tonight. There is only one leader to take this party into government. There's only one leader to end the hardship facing our citizens.
There's only one leader to get this country working again, and that leader is no other than Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. As a member of parliament, I offer my resounding support to Kamla Prasad-Bissessar because I know, had she been Prime Minister, the constituency of Pointe-à-Pierre, like all citizens, would not be facing the hardship that we are seeing in our country. Had she been the Prime Minister, right here behind this community center, we would have had a state-of-the-art that our government had approved, and under the PNM wicked government, they shut it down in 2015. We would have had a state-of-the-art a school for our special needs children in our country, and we would have had a library right here behind this community center. We would have had a brand new Macaulay Primary Government School under the leadership of Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. And this country took God out of their thought and voted for this wicked PNM. And that should never happen again. Had Kamla been the Prime Minister, the heart and soul of this constituency, the heart and soul of this nation, Petrotrin would not have been shut down. Do you agree? We would have had our refinery here today. Given the high prices of oil and gas, we would have been earning billions for our country and our citizens. And we would not have had that need for this, the fuel we would have been able to protect the fuel subsidy that this wicked government destroyed, my brothers and sisters. My brothers and sisters, today the government is telling the population, who is the local consortium? Hear me? The local consortium that is behind the quantum deal that has put out that bid for the Petrotrin refinery. They must tell us what made this proposal better than the OWTU. If Kamla Prasad-Bissessar would have never put the interests of a foreign firm over the dedication of the workers of OWTU who built Petrotrin. Today the Petrotrin lies of this government are catching up with this PNM government. Today refineries all over the world are raking in billions, as I said, due to high oil prices, and we as a country not enjoying that. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar and her government understood the energy sector provides the stability of our nation. That is why she delivered a well-performing energy sector in our country, and this government destroyed it. Since Kamla Prasad-Bissessar left office, the energy sector has not had a single year of growth. After all the old talk and political mamagai by Stuart Young, our country, he is a failure. I see he got a 2-day work as the acting Attorney General. They were so shamed. Poor Faris, he can't even get a 2-day work as Attorney General anymore. They do not trust Faris anymore in their government. I guess he has to go back in the bucket, as Dr. Moonilal had said. So, after 7 years under Rowley, and the PNM have failed to produce any economic growth in our country. You know what was Kamla Prasad-Bissessar's record? She brought in the highest foreign direct investments in our country this nation has ever had. After 7 years, the PNM has abandoned the safety of our citizens. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar has a record of ensuring crime fell to its lowest in decades. After 7 years of the PNM, citizens' only hope for a job is to line up in the rain for the Royal Caribbean cruise line. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar and her government created over 50,000 jobs, my brothers and sisters. Over 50,000 jobs. She did it between 2010 and 2015, and she will do it again whenever the general election is called. My brothers and sisters, as a UNC member, I want us to be proud of where Kamla Prasad-Bissessar has taken our party. Mrs. Bissessar has created the UNC into the most diverse party where people like myself, David Lee, I call myself Larry Gomes. I see my good friend, Mr. Ganga Bagwani, he reminded me when Larry Gomes played cricket for the West Indies, they call him Mr. Dependable. So I hope, leader, you can always depend on David Lee. People like my sister Jerlene John, as I mentioned, brothers like Don Sylvester and Eli Zakuru could all be proud to be called themselves United National Congress party people. our board composition when Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar was in power between 2010 and 2015 was the most diverse composition of board members this country has ever seen. She did it between 2010 and 2015, and she will do it again. Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar has been a true leader of unity. For 5 years, she kept a coalition together. Remember that? She kept a coalition together. We don't give her enough credit for doing that. I think, in my view, she might be the only female president or prime minister that ever had held a coalition government for the full term underneath her. Under all that was thrown at her, she kept her government in place, my brothers and sisters, and we must give her credit for that. No other leader in this country has given the young people, I want to listen to this. No other leader in this country has given young people an opportunity like Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. Just look at our present parliament. The brilliant Saddam Hussein, the brilliant Vandana Mohit. We have Barry Padarat. We have Michelle Benjamin from Muruga Temelan, and many others. I can't call Dr. Moonilal anymore, young anymore. Even when some of those youths fail and can only call themselves, in the past, former MPs in the newspaper, she stands strong against their vindictive abuse and still continues to give our youth a place because Kamla Prasad-Bissessar believes in a plan and purpose for all of us as a nation. As I conclude, my brothers and sisters, Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar always tells us that no other leader will love you as she does. Tonight, I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago and you, the UNC members, no other leader has worked as hard as Kamla Prasad-Bissessar has done for her party and this nation. No other leader has been abused by their critics like Kamla Prasad-Bissessar, but continues to fight for her party and this nation. No other leader has delivered policies to help the most vulnerable of this nation as Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar has done. I am not only endorsing Kamla Prasad-Bissessar here tonight for political leader. Tonight I am saying that Kamla Prasad-Bissessar will be the next nation's prime minister. The PNM could call her, the PNM and whoever could call her by her middle name. And we are proud of her middle name, Kamla Sushila Prasad-Bissessar. They could swindle their lies against her. But I want to tell you, come next election, we all will be calling her Prime Minister Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. I thank you.
The CTPRC support is starting, and the Honorable Kamla Prasad-Bissessar to be the next leader of the United National Congress. One party, one leader.
You know that our next star meeting is on Friday, 17 June in Chaguanas. It is at the Genspec Auditorium in Warren Road from 7 p.m. And secondly, tonight we have a gift from your political leader to you, the people gathered here tonight. Together with MP Ravi Ratiram, she will be distributing over 5,000 plants tonight in honor of Corpus Christi to you, the UNC members gathered here. That is what Kamla Prasad-Bissessar does. She continues to give you, the UNC members, hope. Brothers and sisters, I want you to remember, in 2010, when you had no hope, it was Kamla Prasad-Bissessar who stood for you. In 2010, when you had no jobs, it was Kamla Prasad-Bissessar who created jobs. And come tonight, brothers and sisters, it is Kamla Prasad-Bissessar who continues to fight for you. So let us stand and welcome your next Prime Minister, your next political leader, the best leader this country has ever seen, the Honorable Kamla Prasad-Bissessar.
started, he was a good speaker. He is now a master blaster himself. And we thank him so much. All my colleagues, parliamentary colleagues, colleagues from the Senate, colleagues from the House of Representatives, of course, and the senators who have joined us tonight, the councillors from the various regions, activists, friends, UNC family, good evening. Thank you for coming. For the past couple of weeks, our team has been going to various constituencies, meeting our supporters, our members, our activists, and it has been absolutely inspiring, tremendously inspiring. We have received love and support across the land. And tonight I want to thank all of those who have come out and all those who are here tonight. Tabakita, are you ready? Pointe-a-Pierre, are you ready? San Fernando, are you ready? There is a tremendous, powerful energy, mystic vibration here tonight. And we got that, as I say, in all the several meetings that we've had, a tremendous energy showing the force of the United National Congress, that we are ready and willing to remove this wicked, corrupt PNN government. So to our detractors, they're saying they want you to believe that your party is weak. There's some of them saying the party is too quiet. There's some saying our party has leadership issues, that we are not united. There's some saying that Kamla has to go. Well, I want to tell you something tonight. You don't pelt mango. Don't pelt tree that have no mango, have no fruit on it. That's the first thing. I want to tell you our foundation is strong, our roots are strong, our branches are strong, and our party is now stronger than ever and more united than ever. And you know, to our detractors, the dissidents, saying, even after I beat them all, they say party members saying they want someone else. Well, who? Tell us whom. I listened to them and I called them out. I listened to them, I said, come, let's see what you can do. I said, you want to be a leader, well, come out and fight openly. Do not hide behind fake names. Do not hide behind cabals and canals. Don't hide, come out in the open, and we'll take you on. We'll take on every single one of you. If you want to be the leader of our great party, you have to fight for it, and you have to get the votes of the membership of the party. So, they may be well-intentioned, you know. Somebody chain up Fuad Khan. He may be well-intentioned. But I want to be very clear. Running an alternative government is not a game. It is not a joke. It is not a cartoon proof for a squirrel and for a fake ras. This is serious business. And you are asking our party to vote for you, and you go on these posts putting on a fake rasta wig, talking to a squirrel who is not a real squirrel. You really have to wonder if this fella for real. Talking to a squirrel that is a stuffed toy. And you want the membership to vote for you. Well, I'll tell you tonight, Fuad, the membership of UNC is strong and they're smart people. And they know that we are about serious business. Because look at what's happening. People are dying every day. You pick up the newspapers and the headlines is crime after crime after crime. You see what is going on with the corruption. Rudy and others have spoken about it. You see what is joblessness. I call it a pandemic of joblessness. Right here in Pointe-a-Pierre, Petrotrain, thousands of workers sent home. And all the supporting businesses had to shut down because of this corrupt, visionless, missionless government led by Keith Rowley. We see the crime. You drive on these roads, you're driving into pothole after pothole after pothole. I think one of our speakers told us one night, it's like you're driving because there's so many potholes. The whole road is just one big pothole. Infrastructure, crime, healthcare. Anita told us the education sector. David Lee, the energy sector. And Darrison will tell you in the labor sector. Saddam talks about what's going on in the national security. Rodney Charles tells us about it. They talk about what's going on with the AG. In every single sector and every institution, they have collapsed. They have collapsed, and we have to move them out as soon as we can, politically. So I say, we are about serious business. This is no joke. And we must learn to understand that what we do now will have consequences tomorrow. Deputy Leader John told us elections have consequences. And so we must be serious and know what we are doing as we prepare for whichever election the government calls. We must be strong and we must be ready. And so we are paving the way for going forward. I have led this party for many years. Where have these persons been? When they no longer had positions, what happened? They call it sour grapes, I think. Maybe you all have a better word in local parlance, but they call it sour grapes. When they no longer had the positions, and they got those positions because of whom? The very same leadership. Mr. Pandya used to say, you call them the Makaram. The Makaram people. They want to lead you now. So we led this party for all these years. Where were they? What did they do? When no longer MP and chairman and so on, did they continue to serve you? No. During COVID, when I was out there with our MPs and councillors and so on, begging for vaccines, begging for hampers for the poor, when our executive, our national executive and the constituency executives, we were there giving out the masks and the food hampers, where were they? They were nowhere to be seen. They gave no help to you or to the people of our country. They were on radio and TV, crying down UNC members. There's one writing every week in the papers attacking the UNC, but not one day will that person attack the PNM. Not one day. That person's claim to fame, to get in the papers, is to attack the UNC. And that's what they continue to do. They are hypocrites in what they're doing. Not one day will they call out the PNM. Not one day. Remember that. You have a committed team in the parliament, outside the parliament. We take on the PNM every single day. Every day. And so today we will not allow those who support the PNM, they do it directly or indirectly. We will never allow them to distract us from what is our job. Rudy told us what is the role of politics. Told us tonight what is it for. Is to give a better quality of life to all the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. That's what it's for. It raise infrastructure, healthcare, education, energy, in every sector. That is the role of a politician in politics. So don't sit behind a camera and bad talk the UNC, or write a column in the paper and bad talk the UNC, and then you want to come to run for position in the UNC? No way! No way! We must send them packing. We must send them running. We vowed to fight this fight for as long as you want me to do so. And I ask you, on the 26th, there will be 18 stars on the ballot paper. Don't just put one star on the top. Put your X. Go down the line, 18 stars to lead your party into the next election. So, I talk again about the AG scandal. You know, we've been talking about it. You know, today is 11 days since that story And this Attorney General has no respect or honor or integrity with respect to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. He has taken a vow of silence. The only time you take vow of silence is when you plead the fifth because you're guilty. You don't want to talk. No accountability for his actions. And I want to say, my friends, all these issues facing the country, he run. He run. But Mr. Amor, me Amor, as they say, you can run, but you cannot hide. You can run, but you cannot hide. Don't run. No, no, no. He lied on an affidavit in a Florida court. And when he did those lies, at the bottom, the last paragraph, which he had to put, he says that everything here is true and correct. And I make this statement on penalty of perjury. In other words, penalties for lying. I do it on penalty for perjury. And so tonight I again call on the U.S. authorities to investigate whether Amor lied in a court in Florida. And this vow of silence, the vow of silence that he says he's taken, he has the WPC wiggy. Shameless people. WPC is also, Camille is also a lawyer. But she's not brighter than the UNC lawyers, I'll tell you that for sure. She comes out to make a statement that Kamla is a lawyer and a senior counsel and whatever and whatever and whatever. Woman, I brighter than you any day. Any day. Any day. And you come to say that this matter is sub judice. You're right, it is sub judice. But the issue at hand is not what is sub judice. That is not the issue that the people of our country must be concerned about. So what is under appeal and is sub judice is the issue of whether he should be disqualified or not disqualified. That is the issue in the court. That is what the appeal is about. So don't mix matters, don't take basket, don't get chained up. The issue is that he lied in a court of law. That is the issue. And whether he wins the appeal, whether he loses the appeal, that will not change the price of cocoa. He still lied. It would be still lied. That is a fact. He lied to a court of law. And his pathetic attempt to hide behind the appeal, and Camille, as I say, there was sub judice. Want to tell the country, why are we talking about this matter when it's under appeal? And he must stay quiet, and that's what he must do because it's sub judice. Lady, your Attorney General is giving you advice. And this is an age you lies. So he lied when he told you he's protected by the sub judice rule. He's not protected with respect to the lies that he gave in the court. And let me remind you of how many those were. Lie one. He claimed he was a junior lawyer in the case, in the preliminary inquiries. You hear lie? Yes, yes, Bellman. You hear lie? That is lying. The team that represented Kwaitong and his partner in the Trinidad Magistrates Court, 3 lawyers. One, Mr. Alan Alexander, now deceased, he was senior counsel. Mr. Reginald Amor, senior counsel. And Ian Brooks. The only junior lawyer in that matter was Ian Brooks. Reginald Amor was senior counsel at the time. So he lied about that. But look, it really doesn't matter whether it's a senior counsel, a junior counsel, who lie. It don't matter if you're a tall lawyer, a short lawyer, a bright lawyer, a stupid lawyer. The point is you were a lawyer in the matter. And there is a conflict of interest. There is a conflict of interest. First lie then about his participation in the Trinidad Magistrates Court in the years 2004 to I think it was about 2008, representing Kwaitong. Second lie, lie 2. He claimed that his job was just to take notes. Well, in all my years as a lawyer, and many years, I have never known that you hire a senior counsel to take notes. When you're hiring senior counsels to stand up and argue and fight and cross-examine witnesses and so on, talk about law. If you wanted a note taker, I'll carry the secretary from my office. Also, Saddam does that sometimes. You take the secretary to take notes. And if you do have a junior lawyer, as they did have Ian Brooks, then they will take notes. So he lied again. And all he did was to take notes. That's what he's telling the court in Miami. That has nothing to do with disqualification or not. That has nothing to do with the matter under appeal. What it has to do with an attorney general, shamefacedly, bold-faced, no integrity, no honesty, lied to a court in Florida, in the international arena. He said he was just a note taker. He said all he did was minimal research, minimal research. But when you look at the records on the magistrate's court, when Armour was represented, Kwaitong and others, he was actively participating in that matter. He wasn't just taking notes. Let's get it very clear. The proceedings are clear, and these are court proceedings. Mr. Armour got up on many occasions and he made legal submissions. That is not note-taking. Mr. Armour went in the court and cross-examined witnesses. Is that note-taking? That is the job of a lawyer. You go and cross-examine witnesses that the other side brings. He has also made written submissions signed by the name Reginald Armour, SC. So written submissions, oral submissions, cross-examination, and you want to tell the country that you were just a note-taker? You hear lie? That is lie too. And then we come to lie 3. Lie 3. Let's break it down, Bellman. Lie 3. In the present proceedings in the Miami court, he said he recused himself. Well, you all know that word well, huh? Because this government is a recusal government. We had over 210 recusals by cabinet ministers in the cabinet when decisions were being made for them or their families and finances to benefit. Lie 3, recusal. Mr. Armour said he walled off himself from the matter. He recused himself from the Miami case. You hear lie? That is lie 2. Let's look at it. When we look at his participation, his involvement in the case in the Miami court, since he became AG, we see 1. He was provided with a status report on the matter which involved other matters with his former client Kwaitong. Further, he, on his own affidavit, all this comes from his affidavit, and then he wants to say he recused himself. Look, you cannot be half pregnant. It's either you recuse yourself or you did not recuse yourself. You can't be. I think that's a good way to understand it. It's either you recused or you did not. So you can't say you recused yourself, but then you were given up a status report on the matter. That you were involved in logistics for the trial. That you named persons to attend mediation. That's sounding like recusal to you? You cannot, as I say, be half pregnant. It's either you recused or you did not. Continuing, 5. He named a person to attend the trial. 6. He signed a settlement agreement. 7. He managed the payment of legal fees. 8. He spoke to the legal team on 3 separate occasions, the Florida lawyers, Miami lawyers. On the 30th of March, 10th April, 14th April, these are all his admissions, you understand? These are the things that he's admitting to. Then he says he did logistics to bring and house witnesses from Trinidad and Tobago for the trial in Miami. That sounds to you like he recused himself? He said about ministerial duties. Are those ministerial duties? Those are duties of lawyers. And so he lied when he said he walled himself off under the rule. Continuing. He said he authorized the dropping of certain claims brought by the government in the Miami court. That is not ministerial duties. In order to go forward to drop claims, you have to look at the evidence, you have to look at the law, you have to make a legal determination. Does that sound like recusal to you? No, no, no. You hear lie again, lies. 10. Mr. Amo even went ahead and he's named as a witness on the witness list for the trial. What kind of recusal is that? The witness list was filed one day before he left TNT. All of this he did. And then he says he's walled off, that he recused himself. He made a declaration on penalty of perjury, which was filed in the case to oppose application was brought that he must be disqualified. So all of this he did based on his extensive involvement of Mr. Amo in the Miami matter. The Miami court had to remind him in the judgment. The judge reminded him of the duties of lawyers in relation to former clients. And if it is that he told sequel law, which is also he said in his affidavit, about his conflict of interest, why was it not raised with the court then? Why? You told them what? In secret? Why didn't tell them you were involved before? Why did the defendants have to bring it to the attention of the court through a motion to disqualify? And just before I came, I was reading the transcript of this matter, this motion, and the trial of it in the Florida court. And that's one of the things the judge actually asked the lawyers for the AG and for Trinidad and Tobago sequel law. He said, but why didn't you all bring this to the attention of the court? Why? Why did you not tell the court? Why did you wait until these persons put a motion to disqualify you all from this hearing? Why did you wait? So you were hoping nobody would find out? You were hoping to keep it a secret because you never even told the defendants that you were entering the case on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago. You didn't tell them. You were keeping it secret. And even if he says, well, he didn't remember his extensive involvement in the case before the magistrate's court, that is no excuse not to lie. That is no excuse to lie. Because from the time that matter was brought to your attention, you should have done what they call due diligence. So, at best or worst, he lied. At best or worst, he was totally negligent in carrying out his duties on behalf of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So I'm telling you, do not get chained up and caught and distracted about sub judice and appeal. The appeal has nothing to do with all these lies that the sitting Attorney General of our country brought shame and scandal to our country because of his lying behavior. Lie for, and there'll be more lies. I'll stop there tonight. I think you get the picture. He lied, and he lied. And that is why 11 days now, matter exposed, he has not seen it fit to tender his resignation. And I want to say something. Monday we were in Parliament. When was it? Monday? Monday. Atina, thank you. You said I showed my mettle. But I was vexed. I was damn vexed that this lying man will come in that Parliament. And remember, he comes in that house. He's a guest of the House of Representatives. He is a member of the Senate. When you come down to our house, you are a guest, and you must show some respect for the members of Parliament sitting in that house. I want to say, before I continue on that point, I want to tell him quite nicely, mi amor, my brother-in-law, I want to tell you, don't be worried about my health. First he said something, what he said, whatever nonsense. He said he was impressed to see me in the house because I don't come to the house. Well, Mr. AG, you are not a member of my house. You cannot pontificate and pronounce about me in my own house. And then he says, oh, but I see she left. You know why we left? We did not want to listen to a lying AG because we had no confidence in our AG. thinking I was being assisted. So he thinks maybe I'm not well. Mr. Amo, I am strong, I am well, and I'm good to go, and I'm going to fight. You see, their modus operandi, how they behave, their conduct, they don't know about love and affection that the members of the opposition in that house have for each other and for their leader. They don't know about that. I'm told that them MPs and senators that getting cussed up each day and every day. We don't operate like that in our caucus with our MPs, our senators, our members. That's how we operate. So if they were helping me down this step, oh God, man, be a gentleman now. That's what was happening. They were helping me down the step. That's what gentlemen do. So look, you're just jealous. Nobody really cares about you. And who you should be worried about is your Prime Minister. He cannot come back yet from a summit that ended days ago. Because why? Medical tests. That's what they want us to believe. He's doing routine medical testing. Well, if it's so routine, why don't you come home and do it? Why don't you take taxpayers' dollars and do it up in California? Why don't you come? You said we have the best health care in the Commonwealth. Well, come home and do your tests. So Ms. Amo, you feel sorry for your Prime Minister with his medical test, and don't worry about me. We in the UNC are strong. And we in the UNC, we will continue to fight the corruption of the PNM. We'll continue to fight in every which way we can to bring back better and good governance to Trinidad and Tobago. I want you to ask yourself two questions before I go forward. One is, why is Rowley still in California? If these tests are routine, could be done here. I am told, well, maybe playing golf too, but I am told that the company who wants to buy or lease our refinery is in California. The electricians who want to buy or lease our refinery, they are in California. So I call on the Prime Minister to tell us whether he's in secret meetings with these electricians who want to buy our refinery or lease our refinery. And then, strangely enough, MP Saddam and I discussed something today about the fact that AG Amo fly out of the country. Now, from all my years, when a sitting minister leaves the country, is leaving, the releases go out to say that they're out on official business, and it says where they are going. This release never said nothing. Where he's going, for what purpose? So we have to find out where he's gone, one, and why. But further, they have filed an appeal in the Florida court, it is true. But I've made it very clear to you, my problem is not the appeal and the disqualification. That's bad enough. It's the lies. I don't want us to lose track and sight of that. So I am told that in the filing of the appeal, the procedural rules are you have to file other documents and affidavits and so on. But since he, Amo, is disqualified, and since any continuing involvement will really go in breach again of the professional rules, that he go on, they send him out to put who it is, Stuart Young to act, so you'll have a different Attorney General to put the papers. You see, is all the, what a tangled web we weave when we first set out to deceive, and that's all this government is about, deception and corruption and incompetence. So the Rowley cabinet is in a total mess. And that doesn't bother them. That doesn't bother them. The government is running on autopilot at the moment. Autopilot. And you pick up the paper I saw today, more workers to go home. Unilever, I believe it is in there. Food prices continue to rise. Crime continues unabated. Government continues to cut education funding. Roads are totally crumbling. And what is the government doing? Nothing. I am told some minister buy a big Mercedes Benz. I don't even go check. And then turn around and sold it for somebody for more millions. Well, Faris did it before. Up to now, we can't get a report about why it was never registered when he sold it to KYC. There's another minister. Another minister. So I'm just putting it out there. Jayanti told us the other night about a minister who was prohibited from registering for further academic year at university because of plagiarism. Tonight I can confirm that I've received records which names that minister, and I ask him as Foster Cummins. That's the minister. So I asked Mr. Cummins, is this true? Talk now. Because if you don't talk, I will expose you and release the documents that we have received. Let us know and tell us it's not you. At least don't take a vow of silence on this one. And don't go for no injunction in the court, because Jayanti will beat you left, right and center. They have no idea, they have no plans. They have nothing, initiative not one to improve lives, to help people. And that is why we must continue to band together, to work together, to get them out of office politically. Have no fear, the UNC has a plan. We have a track record. We did it once, been there, done that. We can do it again to grow Trinidad and Tobago. I say again, the PNM is on the run. But they can run, as I told you before, they can run how much they want. They cannot hide. We will continue to expose them. Our party is stronger than ever. And tonight I say to you, on June 26th, come out and vote. Bring out your friends and family. Come out to vote. We need your votes on the 26th. As the others told you, there are 18 stars. You must put the X next to every single star. Every single one. I have time to still say a few words? Okay. I just want to tell you where you have to vote. We are publishing it and will be on the websites, but I just want to let you know. You have to vote in the constituency in which you were registered as a UNC member. I know some of you may have moved. So when you registered, you might have been in Point-A-Bear constituency, but you may have moved. And you're living in a different constituency. But just like the EBC, it's where you were registered. You have never made any reports to the head office that you've changed your address. So you will only get to vote in the constituency where you were registered as a member to vote. And so Arima will vote at the Upper Malabar Community Center, Aruca Maloney Regional Complex, Barataria San Juan Don Miguel Hindu School, Carney Central, Upper Karapachaima Presbyterian School, Carney East, Warrenville Presbyterian School, Chaguanas East, Endeavour Hindu School, Chaguanas West, Charleville Presbyterian School, Couva North, Orangefield Hindu School, Couva South, Exchange Presbyterian School, Kumoto Manzalina Grosvenor Presbyterian School, Dabadi O'Mara, Upper Malabar Community Center, Diego Martin Central Diego Martin Community Center, Diego Martin Northeast and Diego Martin West all will vote at that same Central Diego Martin Community Center. Faizabad, Superior Road KPA School, Labre Rosilac Hindu School, La Joqueta Talparo Brazil RC Primary School, Lavendale East, Morva, Lavendale West, Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West, Port of Spain South will all vote at the SWWTU Hall, Wrightson Road, Port of Spain. Lopido Bonner West, Five Rivers Hindu Primary School, Mayaro, Rio Claro Hindu School, Maruga Tableland, Roshat Douglas Presbyterian School, Naparima, Lengua Presbyterian Primary School, Oropuch East, Parvati Girls College, Oropuch West, San Francisco Hindu School, Point 14, Cedrus Community Center, And you from Pointe-a-Pierre, you will vote at the Union Presbyterian School, Princestown, St. Julian Presbyterian School, San Fernando East, St. John's Community Center, San Fernando West, Naparima Boys College, Siparia Shiva Boys College, St. Anne's East, Santa Cruz Presbyterian Primary, St. Augustine Tunapuna Hindu Primary School, St. Joseph Arang West Community Center, Tabaquite Happy Hill Hindu Primary School, Tobago East and West Calder Hall Multi-Purpose Facility in Scarborough, Toko Sani Grande Hindu Primary School, and Tunapuna El Dorado North Hindu Primary School. So these are your voting stations. Tell your friends, your family. Tell the activists that whom you are mobilizing of where they will have to go to vote on the 26th. So again, I thank you all very much. I say I am very inspired and encouraged by the show of strength and support for the STAR team. Wherever we've gone Friday, you're welcome to join us for the Shogunas meetings at Gen Spec in Shogunas. And Saturday we shall be in Kumoto Mansalina Grande at the Swaha Hindu College, yes, on Saturday. And then we'll let you know for the rest of the week. We will close this campaign on the 24th of June, which is a Friday next week, in Penal Junction, at the Penal Secondary School, Penal Junction. So we look forward, you're welcome to any of the meetings. Tonight I ask all the members of the STAR team who are here tonight to please stand. The members of the STAR team who are present, please stand. And we ask you to give this strong team to lead your party, your vote on the 26th. God bless you and thank you very much.
Come out, just Ravi.